Take two. Doing a reading for those of you who might be struggling right now. Or struggling through this. It's just a hard go. This is for you. I just did a whole reading, but I had to delete it. So I'm gonna pull and go. So I have this this brain injury. I mentioned it before, and like my last video, I deleted it because I was like watching myself mixing up words and stuff. And like I lost my train of thought like 3 times throughout the reading and didn't finish my thought. And Two of Pentacles. The imagery on this card freaks people out, I noticed when I was doing my readings. At the Electric Cure, mainly, I brought this deck. You know, paying your way to hell. It's not what this card represents. Whoa, although it might, like we walked through the trauma and stuff that we've manifested in order to clear a bunch of karma, you know, and going through that process is hellacious. And I firmly believe that hell exists in this realm that we experience now. And going to heaven is the ascension through that process and like working through your traumas until you get to that bliss state. And we've existed in humanity for generations walking through that. And here we sit witnessing, you know, it's reductive to say historic, but the unifying of, I think, those of us who've been on a healing path and those who kind of aren't or are absent, like we've created a grid of ascended beings who are like dragging those not on that path, kicking and screaming through it. Just by example, Queen of Swords reversed. She can represent malice, bullying, there may be some of that. I feel like people, those in our lives who aren't on like a conscious healing path, 333 in the counter, like it's their behavior will get worse before it gets better, and it's almost like they need to be able to see it for what it is. So it's got to come out hard and true, you know. When are you ever like fully ashamed of yourself except for when you've been exposed, you know? And we all have tendencies to not be on our best behavior, you know? A lot of times they come from coping skills of the past, and like the Two of Pentacles too is like your ability to cope and manage your life, cope through and manage your life, or cope with. I think coping through it is a process of habits. It's a bundle of habits. It's your process. See, my words are coming out jumbled and not in the manner at which I intend. It's frustrating. I'm gonna just plow through though. Like this is the last one, the last reading had like even her, wow, these two ladies. But it was discussing, like, if you always have an audience. You lead by example in your household, in your studies, in your job, whatever it is you're doing. There's an audience. And like, when you get real and gritty about like if you're triggered and you have a reactive moment, like, if it happens only like by yourself, or it's just you by yourself, you aren't inspired to be accountable. Shit. It helps seal the deal though when there's witnesses. And the Queen of Wands reversed, there's insecurity there. There's like a lack of honoring one's self. And that could be what's paving your way through the hell that you've been experiencing. Oof. The Nine of Cups reversed. This came out for the last reading. Oh yeah, I was gonna just pull. I'm gonna do that. I set up 9, 3 for immediate past, present, and then immediate future, and then I expanded upon whatever cards were questionable. Ace of Pentacles was flipped over on the deck. This is my only deck that does that. Like, I won't even notice that it flips over and it's just upside down in the deck. This also came out in the last reading. What you offer your people, your home, that where you put your energy, and that example you lead is highlighted here. And it came out with this card too, only with my Rider-Waite deck. And these are like hidden blessings. It's not what you prayed for. It's deeper than that. Like, you've been getting what you've been worrying about, which is prayer. I mean, we harp on it longer, even though it is less like negative, charged affirmations aren't as powerful as positive. But because we harp on them much more, like it takes up much more of our thinking time or brain power, that brings that shit to manifest. Like, here, there's like a change in that. There's a shift in what it is, what affirmations are being used. Like with the Queen of Swords reversed, it's like the inner script is flipped. After that, Ace of Pentacles is the 8 of Cups, walking away energy, leaving old thought processes behind, you know, flipping the script. The Knight of Wands, conviction and a passionate pursuit of this new, it's like a whole new earth. If you read that Eckhart Tolle book, A New Earth, I read it years ago, and it was like, whoa. And just that shift in perspective, instead of seeing my life through my memories or my worries or my anticipations or my plans, or, you know, it like kind of coaches you through the book, coaches you through getting present in the moment and staying there. And this looks like what you are pursuing, like your life depends upon it. With the King of Cups, he's the Zen master of the zodiac. That takes extreme self-discipline and holding yourself accountable for your emotions, and enforcing control. I don't know, being very controlled. And then the Death card, which came out in the last reading too. It's reversed here. This is the rebirth. Big emphasis on like letting go of old patterns. knowing that flipping your internal script, like your inner monologue, will affect great change in your life. The High Priestess reverse was the first card that came out in the last reading. It's coming out here. Oh, and so, no, that came out. It was the first card in my collective reading on Instagram. And that reading was about letting go. And the process being something that triggers your, like, well, should I? Do I really? Did I mean? Am I just seeing it wrong? Did I do everything I could? Like those backtracking, like that's that inner monologue that we're like up against, you know, trying to create new, but like understanding like what's happening when that inner dialogue starts, where you doubt your conviction and, you know, because that happens. They say it takes someone 7 tries to leave an abusive relationship. Like, they know they should, they know they have to. Sometimes it's a matter of survival. All right, the 10 of Wands and the 7 of Pentacles. 10 of Wands is reversed. You are burdened by the previous manifestations, like the seeds you planted in the past for your present is your burden. Heavy, it's a heavy weight to have to shed. Wow, and this progression from this internal fire leaking outward and spreading is major for me. It's hitting me like those seeds. Oh, and this came up before in the other reading too. So there are certain trees whose seeds need fire to germinate. I had a friend who talked about walking through a Sequoia National Park or something, and he felt like the trees were screaming for him to set them on fire. And he's like, I know I'm a bad kid, but I didn't think I was that bad. And but he knew it then. It was coming from the trees. And that a new earth, like getting present, that's when you start to notice that, like, oh, I can feel these trees nearby, you know, or like you become more in tune with your kids or your animals, you know, the environment around you. It's teeming with life. And when we're so distracted with our phones or with bullshit, like, we get cut off from our actual life in this ever-evolving now moment. All right, let's see. The Sun reversed, count your blessings. The Fool reversed, check your motives. Oh, and then the King of Swords. There will be like minimal wiggle room. Your spirit guides will smack your hand with a ruler when you step out of line with what you're doing. It's like, this is what you asked us to do, and here we are holding you to account. Whenever I see the Sun card reversed initially, there's like this, oh, unhappiness, but it's more of like noticing the little things, noticing the blessings in your life, not just counting them, but like understanding like, whoa, this is a serious moment and something I'll remember, you know, giving credence to the small stuff. Even the mistakes you make being next to that Fool card. The King of Swords and the Queen of Swords are now both on deck, or here. On deck, that sounds weird, but And that divine feminine on her head, like, that's what I think the masses are healing. Like, we've been so, capitalism is so anti-empathy, anti-humanity that, you know, I mean, that it seems like a big part of what we're working through. People are now more questioning how we treat each other and respond in times of trauma, and you know, that just feels like the divine feminine on the rise. The Knight of Swords again flipped over. A card just flipped over, reversed. Some may be inspired to move forward wildly. There's a sense of a loss of control here. It's a wild card in this position, so, you know, whoa, I was gonna say hold your horses, but he's not on a horse, he's on an owl. Owls, their brains are mainly eyeballs. Like, in real life, they're not very wise. But, you know, in symbolism, they represent wisdom. A parliament of owls. But the Knight of Swords reversed, being the wild card, like, he often goes in unprepared, but just, you know, racing in. The owl's eyes just popped out at me because I was thinking it's more the page that's the stalker card. But when the Knight is reversed, there is that desire to gain some information. If there's somebody you're walking away from, try not to, like, peek at their social media. Just call somebody if you feel compelled to. Oh my, the Devil came out in the last reading. Here he is again. The Three of Wands reversed. You didn't expect him to show up, but he did. And almost while you were busy trying to create one outcome, you were opposed by the shadow aspects of that outcome. And that could be shocking. It was probably pretty shocking. But it's made it easy to know what needs to be done at this point. Even though the Devil is considered a liar and whatnot, this isn't a card of deception. In fact, he holds you to the truth. He pulls it out, even if he has to use, like, lies or torture and torment, you know. He does have a sacred space in the whole of things. I'm gonna pull out another deck here, and we'll look at what are the details of, like, moving forward. What let's get specific. Maybe we'll do, like, financial and then love after. So let's look at your security, your job, or your home life. Home life being, like, managing the house and bills and kids and what have you. Will there be obstacles? Will there be, like, physical obstacles? There may be a loss of control in the consumption of alcoholic beverages. Be careful. That stuff is meant to oppress. It's meant to suppress consciousness. I mean, and then the Two of Cups, there, you may be distracted by some kind of intimate connection. It may be somebody close to you who's having trouble with alcohol. Justice, there could be issues with the law. You may just drive safe and obey all traffic laws. You may get yourself a ticket. Watch out for those camera stoplights. But then again, there's that Libra energy, the justness of what's happened in this connection is highlighted. This is definitely a cause for celebration, and it's leaning into your tribe, but it's a small group celebration. So take care of each other. Nobody drink and drive. And I just said, don't like stalk. Don't go stalking your ex or whatever. It'll only hurt you. Interesting that this is, for me, the going ghost card. There's probably some big time issues here. Health issues for this person. If you have health issues, take care of yourself. But also don't, it's time for you to go ghost, as they say. And I feel like you've already said your piece here, but it's just time to turn it off. Don't even go, don't look, don't think. And if you do find yourself thinking about it, just understand and kind of acknowledge to yourself, like, I'm healing. This is natural. The Wheel of Fortune reversed. And then the Moon reversed. Your misfortune brings to light stuff hidden in the shadows. You know, shadow work is a imperative part of light work. You cannot be a light worker if you are not willing to stand in your shadows and like confront every aspect. The Star reversed. This came out already in the last reading. I dig when that happens. It's not even coming from the same decks. The Moon and the Star, both reversed. And it's almost calling you to step out from the shadows. Getting bold in your vulnerability will bring about the growing of that light at the end of the tunnel. It'll bring it closer. Again, with the audience, I see that with the Star card. Don't shrink from the spotlight. When you are called to the stage, show up, you know, hard, and then get out from under the disappointments of your life. Yeah. So, and I've got a few people on Instagram. I don't think they've ventured to my YouTube, but who have established careers in the entertainment industry. I feel that energy here. That kind of audience. You will not disappoint. Keep at it. Love what's happened for Paul Rudd. I've had a crush on him since Clueless. Anyway. Oh, loved him in This Is 40. Everything he does. All right. And now we're going to look at love. We're going to look at love. So, what's going on with love? And I feel like with this kind of a situation, this should be the furthest from your mind, but we will, I mean, but then again, it is also, it's like center stage in your mind. When you see the devil in a reading, like there's an end coming. There was also death reversed. So working through this end or breakup, maybe it wasn't even like, it was a situationship. Could have been years. worth of a situationship, or maybe full-blown relationship or a marriage. There could be divorce. The Justice card. Let's just see. What are you talking about with love? What is the situation in our love, the people I reach, our love lives? Okay, that one came out. Prince of Cups reversed. King of Wands. Strength reversed. Queen of Swords reversed. Everybody's reversed here except the King of Wands. Sometimes you gotta fake it till you make it. Strength reversed. You may feel doubtful. You may feel self-conscious. The Queen of Swords recognizes your inner power. She's shown up a couple times now. And the Prince of Coins. Cups. Prince of Cups. Fake it till you make it. Prince, Knight of Cups. He brings what he has to offer to the table for sure. You know, go boldly. People, nobody's perfect. And if you can show up, ooh, like Paul Rudd. He's so relatable and he's so real and so funny. And like doesn't take himself, I don't know. He puts it out there that he doesn't take himself too seriously. I mean, it's clear he takes serious his work and his life and his family and his fatherhood. But there's that genuine, like, take it or leave it. Like, this is, I am insecure sometimes. But that gives me my power to be able to share that and connect with you. Husband material here as well. Somebody is potentially coming in with an offering, but there may be, it also may be that this person is looking to portray themselves as husband material. This feels like even more than one person, because I also feel like there's going to be somebody who's going to want to poach you in that space of weakness. So be careful, be mindful. Should there even be, just tell me more. Let's see. The Star card again, and then the Three of Pentacles reversed. You'll know authenticity when you see it. You'll know if somebody's bullshitting you when you see it. With the Three of Pentacles reversed, it feels like you may feel as though you brought the wrong tools to the project. But I feel like we've been walking with the tools for a specific outcome, a specific cycle, lifelong cycle potentially. But now we've got to like adapt, trade up. And when I see this card straight up, it's when I see that, I say go to therapy or seek education within your field or whatever it is. There's guidance here that you seek external to your inner knowing. When it's reversed though, you lean into that inner knowing because you've been through it. You have experience to back up your conviction. Six of Pentacles. The give-take card put in the take position. You take back your power. Again with that audience card. You have something to say. You have something to offer. People look to you. Whoa. Hanged Man reversed. 7 of Pentacles. What seeds you've sown, and a perspective shift. Like, you can see from a different angle what you've brought to the table, and you realize how steadfast you rightfully are, or not so rightfully. Maybe you see that now you know what you used to not know. Now you are no longer susceptible to being poached in your weak state. You know, you may feel self-doubt and whatnot, but that has nothing to do with reality. I think that's it. That's good. This was intense. I love it when stuff lines up, but it's, you know, it's kind of aggravating to do more than one. The other one was like 30 minutes long. Oh, this one too. All right. Well, we covered the same stuff. It was essentially the same reading. I appreciate you being here with me and bearing with me through it. Please like and subscribe, and thank you. We'll talk soon. Stay tuned.